Hello and welcome to Disney Movie Investigation. This is one of our bonus episodes on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. We are continuing our series where we are looking at those beloved shows that we all remember growing up. So stay tuned as we are going to look at the history of the character, the original pilot, cast changes made throughout the series, as well as other forms of media that the Sabrina character made appearances in. And if you are enjoying these videos, I do ask you please hit that subscribe button. That way you will never miss one of our videos. So for now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So the show that we're talking about today is Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and it was created by Nell Scoville, and it was developed by Jonathan Schmock, and it premiered on September 27, 1996 on ABC. And it had a total number of 163 episodes. It first premiered on ABC from 1996 to the year 2000, and then it got moved to the WB in the year 2000 and ran until the year 2003. So let's take a look at a brief history of the character. So the character Sabrina Spellman made her first appearance in Archie Comics. She first appeared in Archie's Madhouse in October of 1962. In this first appearance, she was an elementary school student that was learning to be a witch. Sabrina would go on to get her own comic series, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and this ran from 1971 until 1963, and Sabrina continues to be a part of the Archie comic universe to this very day. In terms of the TV show, the original pilot aired on the Showtime network in April of 1996, and the show followed Sabrina Sawyer, played by Melissa Joan Hart, and her two aunts, Zelda and Hilda, played by Charlene France and Sherry Miller. The show ultimately did not get picked up on Showtime, but ABC decided to pick it up as a series. Sabrina's last name was changed, though, to Spellman to coincide with the Archie comics, and her aunts were recast with Beth Broderick and Carolina Ray. ABC, though, did cancel it after 4 years, but the WB picked it up for an additional 3 seasons. So let's talk about the premise of the show. The show is about the adventures of a teenage witch, Sabrina Spellman, who discovers on her 16th birthday that she is a witch. As she is learning to be a witch, her spells often go awry, but she is guided by her aunts, Zelda and Hilda, who give her advice on the proper use of magic, as well as teenage lessons on how to get through high school. Also joining the household is their cat Salem, who is a witch turned cat because he was caught trying to take over the world. The show makes constant pop references to the popular culture at the time. An example is Sabrina often says that her favorite bands or musical artists are Britney Spears and No Doubt. And then the show would often have reoccurring guest stars, such as Coolio, Britney Spears, Raquel Welch, just to name a few. So let's look at the cast. So the original cast was Melissa Joan Hart playing Sabrina Spellman. We had Carolina Ray playing Hilda Spellman. Beth Broderick played Zelda Spellman. Nick Bakay was the voice of Salem. We had Nate Rickert as Harvey Kinkle. Jenny Lee Green as Libby Chesler, and Michelle Bowden as Jenny, Sabrina's best friend, and we had Paul Fig playing Mr. Poole, the biology teacher. Throughout the series, though, the show had reoccurring and changing cast members. The show went through constant changes. After season 1 ended, Paul Fig and Michael Bowden left the show to be replaced by Martin Mull as the vice principal, as Willard Kraft, and Lindsay Sloan as Valerie Burkhead, Sabrina's new best friend. Amy Ballard also joined season 2 as the Quizmaster, who is helping Sabrina get her license to become a full witch. She would only last 1 season. At the end of season 3, Jenny Lee Green, who played Libby Chesler, left the show. And then for season 4, 3 new cast members were added. David Lanchester plays Josh, Sabrina's co-worker at the coffee shop, as well as a new love interest. John Hutis plays Brad, a new kid at school. China Shivers plays Dorima, another new kid at school, and would become Sabrina's student to learn magic. And then both John and China would only be around for 1 season, for season 4, And Nate, who played Harvey from season 1, would also leave after season 4, but would return for season 6 and 7. So yeah, like it was a pretty much revolving door of cast members. For season 5, this is where the show really changed, as Sabrina would move out of her aunt's house to go to college, where she had 3 roommates. Soil Moon Fry, for longtime fans, she was the original Punky Brewster. She would play Roxy King, one of Sabrina's roommates. Alyssa Donovan would play Morgan, another one of Sabrina's roommates. And Trevor Lasseter would play Miles, the male roommate. And then at the end of season 6, both Beth Broderick and Carolina Ray would leave the show, as their role had pretty much diminished after Sabrina left the house, and both of them moved on to future projects. So the show was incredibly popular, so it led to a variety of different spin-off, both different shows as well as different areas of entertainment. So in terms of video games, 3 games for Microsoft Windows were created. Sabrina the Teenage Witch Spellbound, Sabrina the Teenage Witch Bundle of Magic, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch Brat Attack were all created for Microsoft Windows. Sabrina the Teenage Witch A Twitch in Time was released for PlayStation, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch Potion Commotion was created for the Game Boy Advance. This show was also able to spin off several junior novels for kids growing up in the junior high to early high school. 52 original novels were released based on the show. Some were novelizations of episodes, while some were original stories, along with a companion series called Salem's Tales was also created. CD soundtrack. So Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the album, was released on October 27, 1998, and the CD was released by Geffen Records. The show featured music from the show, along with Melissa Joan Hart singing one of the tracks of a cover of One Way or Another. In addition, 3 TV movies were also made, Sabrina the Teenage Witch in 1996, and this was just a re-airing of the original pilot. And then there was 2 travel made-for-TV movies where Sabrina would go abroad. The first one was Sabrina Goes to Rome, and then the second one was Sabrina Goes Down Under, where Sabrina would travel to Australia. And on top of that, Sabrina also had an animated series spin-off. Animated series was created during the 4th season. The role of Sabrina was voiced by actually Melissa Joan Hart's sister, Emily Hart, and Melissa Joan Hart would actually provide the voice of the 2 aunts, Hilda and Zilda. This was followed up with a TV movie called Sabrina Friends Forever, and a follow-up animated series called Sabrina's Secret Life. So the character was really popular. In terms of what I think upon reviewing the show, I think this show was very memorable for me growing up. I didn't watch past, I think, season 2, just because I kind of grew out of it. But I think the show is great for preteens. The show covers common issues for teenagers growing up, but it doesn't go too deep to the point where it's inappropriate. This type of show is where Melissa Joan Hart really excels in. This is what she's known for. Her previous show, Clarissa Explains It All, and then she transitioned into this, and this is where she really made her name. I think she's relatable as Melissa or as Sabrina, and then her comic timing is where she really excels in. The show overall, I think, is one that I would recommend because the stories are self-contained as well as they're engaging, so you don't need to watch every single episode to get the series. You can just pick up at certain points. And then the popularity of the show was huge, as you can tell with all the different spin-off activities or different pop culture things. And I think it was really popular, especially for girls. And it was a great transition from this type of show into shows like 90210 or Melrose Place. So it was a great kind of transition for those preteens that wasn't a cartoon either. So I think it was really kind of a product of its time. And the shows are available on DVD. I believe you can buy a box set. I've seen them at Walmart as the whole series in a box set. So if you do want to check them out, I would highly recommend it as well. So yeah, I think this was kind of a memorable show growing up. So thank you again for joining us on Disney Movie Investigation. The question for you guys is, did you guys watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch? And what were your favorite parts of the show? Did you read any of the novels? Did you play any of the video games? Please let me know in the comments, and it'll be an interesting discussion. So as we continue our retrospective series, our next episode, we are going to go to the world of Acme Acres, and we are going to take a look at the world of Tiny Toon Adventures. So thank you for joining us here on Disney Movie Investigations, and we will see you next time. Have a great night. Bye.